welcome back everyone to Fuji Speedway here in the Shizuoka Prefecture for another race here in this very, very lovely track here as we're about to get our second race of the day here in the Fest weekend. Welcome everyone to the first round of Holo Proto World, Japan and International, and this time we'll be racing the Split B race of the Riding on Dream 600 at Fuji Speedway. Of course, we're looking back at Fuji Speedway. If you know your Split A racing a few moments ago, you'll understand what this track is all about. But for all the new viewers, we'll be racing 150 kilometers of race distance on this 4.56 kilometer long track. Turn 1 after the long 1.5 kilometer straight, Coca-Cola corner right after turn 1. Well, not really after turn 1. And then we got the fast sweeping 100R, and then the hairpin, and then the Dunlop chicane. These are your action zones for this track here in Fuji Speedway. We have yet to see someone go into the 129 threes. We've seen guys go as fast as 130, but well, we'll have to wait and see how it goes for Split B, as we will see warmer conditions. We might see faster lap times. And just to introduce everyone to the starting lineup here for the Split B race. It's Dan Evans who wins the qualification race in the Split B qualifying race. And he will be sitting on pole position for IRADIO 15, where he will be facing on some intense competition for the 2025 World CEO Champion Joshua Zure representing Mori Calliope. His fellow Hololive teammate and Takamori won. Well, Takamori won at that. Koi Recommenders will start third for Takanashi Kara, facing on some competition against Kaminai Riba, who represents Shishiro Botan in that number 43 car. They both had a ding-dong battle for third place in the qualifying race. Will we see the same thing again? Enzo Ferrari will currently qualify the fastest out of the 4 Justice members who will be making their Fest debut. Representing Rara Pantera for Enzo Ferrari's this case, and he will line up alongside a fast-charging Racing Crusher for Lapless Darkness. Omashake Reza qualifying 7th for Momosu Tsunere alongside Hyuta Asano for Gigi Murin, another one of the Hololive EN Justice members who will be making their debuts here in Fuji in Fest capacity. Agozuri qualifies 9th for Ozora Subaru in what will be her points run. Obviously, she's registered for full season competition here. And alongside her will be Osne Wizard representing Nogami Korone. Now, Korone herself will not be participating in Stage 2 of the concert. Stage 2 is basically the race that basically forms the basis of Split B. However, for championship purposes and for Wizard to fight for the CEO spot, we allow Osne Wizard to compete for Inugami Korone in the ROD 600 Split B race. Even without Korone's appearance in the Fest itself. Hofumi starts 11 for Tokyo Sora alongside Matthias Zakaris, who was in the booth in the previous stream. He's now in the car representing Kriji Oli, and we'll see if he can make something work from 12. 13th place, Isakaji Mikolev had his Oshi Sakaramiko perform in yesterday's, last night's live concert hosted by her. Nice new outfit for Sakaramiko, really fits her style. And alongside Mikolev will be Alex Grant for Cecilia Evergreen, a evergreen driver of sorts. He has been a journeyman ever since the start of 2022. We'll see how he performs individually, and we'll see how the Otomos fare in their first Fest race. And then we got Evelyn Krobe for Elizabeth Rose Bloodflame, who of course is the 2025 international champion, but starting from 15th on the grid is going to be interesting outlook for sure. We'll see how Kuromi fares in her first outing in Fuji for ERB in Holo Proto competitions. Lexi Bowen started 16th as one of 3 guest drivers. So basically for the purposes of this race, they will be excluded from the points tally positions. But yeah, Lexi Bowen will be starting 16 and with no potential points being scored. Same goes for Sami Ake, who will be starting 17th for Shirakami Fubuki. And a bit of an update here, Joshua Zuri is also not going to be eligible for points as he's also listed as a guest entrant. So he was just going to be racing for a vanity win. But that win will still be good as this will prepare him for the Split D race tomorrow, where he will be racing in near identical conditions. And also Jay Goodwin representing Okami Mio in 18th place. He will start last. So with that out of the way, we are not going to be wasting any more time. My name is Bomashan Reza in the commentary booth, and alongside me is, of course, Ali J, driver of the number 51 KKR VB machine. So, Ali J, welcome back to the stream. I want to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, hello, hi, we meet again. So,
I want to hear your thoughts before we start the race.
my thoughts for this game. I mean,
Well,
from the first, from the split A, I already have like a little too a little too much expectation on some drivers for this game. I think I will have to be fair with all drivers, and yeah, I'm so excited to see all the drivers today, all the talents today.
Well, which is nice to see here, as we are just going to focus on the current situation here. Dan Evans, the Australian, will start on pole position. Alongside him will be Joshua Azurid. Corey Mendes and Cameron Riba also waiting in the wings to see what they can do to challenge those front runners. So with that out of the way, we are just gonna get the start procedures underway. As we will get the start finally ready for the split B race that they're riding on Dream 600 at Fuji. Dan Evans on full position, and it looks to me that it's a decent start here for Dan Evans. But Joshua Zurid, once again, as we saw on Split A, Joshua Zurid has a poor start compared to the front runners. And now Corey Mendes is about to give him the challenge he deserves. As we now see Corey Mendes now go down the inside to take second place away from Joshua Zurid. That's a bad start there from the basically the deadbeat driver, as he now drops down to third. Enzo Ferraria is going to go have a ding-dong battle with his own gen mate, Hyuta Asano, who is sniffing for 6th place, but he's just too far back. And with Dan Evans now leads the pack. Corey Mendes in second, Azuri third, Horacio fourth, Riba fifth, Ferrari sixth, Asano seventh, Shaka Freza in 8th place, Hofumi ninth, and Aqua Azuri is in the top 10. And right now we're seeing more movements down further back as Wizard now tries to find his way past Alex Grant. The Justice Cars are doing pretty decently with the exception of Evelyn Kuromi, who's now down in 18th place. Not a good look there from someone who has won an international series title in the previous year. I mean, So yeah, we're talking about a driver who has won the championship, the international championship the previous year, and now dropping down in last place in this race right now. What do you think?
No, I think I was expecting for a good start at first, but yeah, we'll see. Maybe we can keep an eye on for the dark horse. What do you think?
And speaking of dark horses for the race win, I'm thinking of Rusty Carrascio here. Started fourth on the grid, now staying there, but he has seen some changes. Azurin's not having a good race at the moment, even as a guest entry. So anyway, there are more battles here. Hopefully now going down the inside at 100R and going around into the hairpin. It's going to be hopefully he's going to try to carry a lot of speed from exiting the corner. And it looks to me that he's able to still go side by side with the automaton driver. And it looks to me that hopefully we should be able to stay ahead as it stands. Meanwhile, more battles in front as we see Mikolev and Zacharias go toe-to-toe between each other into the Dunlop chicane. This is an intense racing action from these two drivers. Showing a lot of respect between each other, and I think you agree with this fact, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, we are are going to be taking a look into Dan Evans right now, who's currently controlling the pace right at the front. And right now, Corey Jimenez is trying to see if he can provide Evans with some challenge at the top end of the racing order. Dan Evans with the fastest lap of the race, 1:31.296, as we're seeing potentially even more side-by-side action. Here comes Fuji against Encore Missouri. Is Fuji gonna try to make a move down the inside? He's too far back. Meanwhile, Zacharias already peeling down into the inside to see if he can make the pass onto Lexi Bowen, who's now up into 13th. And based on the progress starts Ali J, we're seeing Ali Alex Grant in that number 34 car already gaining 3 positions at the start, and Lexi Bowen also gaining 3 positions. What do you think?
Oh, this is it's too tight. I think all the drivers are. I can tell they're under pressure. They're really close to each other. Yeah.
Yeah, and eventually overtakes set to happen as we now see. Thinking of some strategies here. We saw how the overcut strategy works, and looking at the drivers who will be hitting last, Mohamed Shakib Reza obviously is gonna be the drivers who will be hitting the latest in this race alongside Matthias Zacharias and Evelyn Kuromi. So maybe it is a blessing of disguise if they are currently at the back. But I think Enzo Ferrari also makes Enzo Ferrari a solid dark horse pick for this race win. Of course, Dan Evans is in complete control of the lead so far, but Corey Mendez in the number 50 Chiara machine is absolutely charging. So what are your chances of him trying to get into this race lead?
What are my chances?
No, I mean the driver's chances right now. I think in which there are more side-by-side action. This time we got Sami Ake and Jake Goodwin. The Fubuki and the Fubuki, of course, going side-by-side in turn 1. Sami Ake trying to score 13th amongst the split B full-time drivers. And Ryder's doing a pretty good job here as he now makes the pass onto Ake. But back to Corey Mendes, what do you think is his chances of him trying to get this race lead away?
Yeah, I think for the first few laps, it's a good start. It's a good start for him, but still have to be careful for the other drivers that will, they will try to push from the back.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of Mendes trying to pass Dan Evans for the lead, do you think he's going to be able to make that pass?
Yeah, of course, I can see the potential there. It's so close to the tail.
Yeah, exactly. But of course, it looks to me that Dan Evans has just pulled away slightly on the previous lap at 130.734 compared to Mendes' 131.058, already gaining 0.4 of a second there. Dan Evans there, but again, we have yet to see pit stops take into consideration here in this split B race. And as we're focusing on this race, I just want to remind you that this split B race is based on stage 2 of the 7th Fest concert that will be hosted on Saturday afternoon. So if you do want to know more information about the 7th Fest and the streaming ticket that comes with it, there is the QR code on the bottom right of your screen, which will be popping up to you soon, so you better prepare your phone scanner for this. And so, yeah, you can scan the QR code in the bottom right of your screen to know more about the 7th Fest. And from there, you can probably think about getting a streaming ticket, but if you think that's too expensive for you, there's always the preview streams in Hololive's official YouTube channel where you can watch the first part of the concert for free. But anyways, back into the racing situation here. Dan Evans continues to have a 1 second lead over Jorge Mendes, and based on the patterns that we're seeing here, Dan Evans, as the pole sitter for the main race, is looking like the favorites to win here. But we'll see if Corey Mendes and Joshua Zuret can out-strategize Dan Evans, especially given that we have these two drivers, Mendes and Zuret, already being faster than Evans on that last lap.
There's a very strong start for events, and I think maybe Azuriel might challenge Mendes also.
Take a look about the potential pit stop that might come starting from lap 10. We'll shuffle the order to some degree. We'll have to see how it goes. And we're now going to see the rest of the field here. That was the Wizard, of course, representing Inugami Korone, who is not going to participate as a performing member in the Stage 2 concert, citing personal family reasons as the reason why Korone isn't set to take part in the 2026-7 Fest concerts. While I think it's a disappointment for a lot of fans, but then again, it's a family issue, so it has to be understandable. But given that Wizard is currently racing solely for points and not for Korone's performances in the 7 Fest, how does this affect someone's mental fortitude?
I mean, as in from the fans' perspective or the driver perspective?
Well, both.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say from the fans, maybe they're rooting for their favorite talent drivers right now and watching carefully. And pit stop is completely changed to gonna change the place soon. The placing for the drivers soon, and also for the drivers, they have to, manage the right time for the pit stop.
That is the strategy here as Horatio now makes his way into the pit lane as well as Jay Goodwin. The conditions are still pretty cold. It's about 7 degrees Celsius, or is that 8 degrees Celsius on both the track and ambient temperatures. So this will mean that again the tires will be still going to be slow to warm up. It will be faster than the Split A race that we saw earlier today. So we might see some varied strategies in mind. Horatio did make a pit stop from, I believe, the top 5 on the grid. So his nearest rivals will be Enzo Ferrari and Kaminari Riva. And right now, looking at Dan Evans, he now has pulled up with a gap before he now comes down into the pits. Will now take the race lead temporarily. It's now the onus is now on him to try to bang in some fast laps before he comes in for his pit stop. He's about to come close there for a move against Aqua Azuri. Will there be something from the 2022 Hololive champion? Not yet. Aqua Azuri showcasing how she can defend in that number 48 Ozora Subaru car. Okay, Dan Evans currently still stationary in his pit box. Horatio not expected to challenge Evans or Azuri, as both of them are still pretty much stationary. And they're both coming out at roughly at the same time, but it looks to me that Evans has the slightly faster pit stop time. Looks like Dan Evans is going to remain as the favorites to win. Mr. Mikolev wins over Sami Ake, and Jay Goodwin will have to remain at the back of the field. Meanwhile, the battle for provisional second place is going to be interesting at the very least, but remember, there's still going to be even more pit stops to come, especially from Enzio Ferrari running in 3rd place. Austin Wiz is currently running in 9th, Fumi in 7th, so there will be more shakeups in the pit lane right now. But right now, all eyes will be on Enzio Ferrari if he can stay ahead of Rustin Horatio.
And we can see from the top to from the bottom to the top, Kuromi is on a mission.
And that mission is, well, I don't know, because Kuromi needs to make a pit stop soon. She's about to make a pit stop in the next 2 laps, as we see here. Shaki Reza now going around the outside of Yuta Asano. Shaki Reza tries to weasel his way past the Gigi Muri driver, but the Gigi Muri trained driver keeps that inside line. A tough one for him to make a move against. This shows you Asano is able to coordinate some very good defensive driving. And Enzo Ferrari has just gotten out. Fumi has also gotten out. Remember, the guys that pit later have been the ones that have been able to execute a very good strategy. And now we see Kuroshio now trying to go around the outside to not lose even more positions to Lexi Bowen this time. As now we see Kuroshio now up in 13th place. Running order right now, Koi Rikamenes for Takanashi Kara in the race lead. Kamine Riba for Shishiro Robota running in second. Asano and Chakareza will be making their moves into the pit stop anytime soon. Aqua Zuri will now go up into third place, but remember, pit stops will still be coming. Matthias Zacharias will be coming in for a pit stop. Same goes for Evelyn Kuromi. And speaking of which, you have had experience dealing with Chakareza before. Ali, so what do you think is currently on his mind as he now tries to get himself a slight brush, a small break before he resumes the race?
I mean, there's always a turning point after the pit stop, so I guess he can have a strategic planning to catch the leaders.
Obviously, they're going to be having a pretty uphill task right now, especially for Shaka Frenza, who's still behind Yuta Asano. So his 1v1 against him is pretty much not done yet. Matthias Zakari is about to exit ahead of this battle here, but he will go behind Alex Trent as he now loses a few positions. This one, he still gets ahead of Kuroshio. Wizard drops down to 14, so it's not a good pit stop for him. And looking into the rest of the field here, Ulrich Mendes really needs to have this very good pit stop if he is going to stay ahead of Evans. And right now, Dan Evans is on a race to catch Mendes before he gets out of the pits. Do you think Evans can catch him?
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of pressure for Evans, but now since Evans is back out from the pit, I'm pretty sure, of course, he can catch the rest of it.
Right now, he's looking like a favorite to try to take back the race lead away. Azurin still within a second of a gap between himself and Evans. Corey Jimenez is now gone now. Corey Jimenez is now out. He's now out on the track. He is not able to beat Corey Jimenez in terms of strategy. Corey Jimenez now has the lead here in Fuji Speedway. And also a pretty great surprise here. The ones who pitted last, as I mentioned, the ones who do the overcut strategies are the ones who have gained the most in this race. Aqua Azuri, who started 9th, is now up into 5th place with the freshest tires possible, and she is hungry for more. And I think you agree with me, right?
Yeah, of course.
And right now,
wow, Evan is back in the top 3.
But he lost the lead. He lost the lead away. So
yeah.
right now, it's all about trying to get his lead back. But Corey Jimenez, he needs to soak up the pressure from the drivers ahead. And we now see more battles here. This time, it's Kuroshio and Zacharias, or as we now already, it's Zacharias and Bowen. As Bowen tried to make the pass onto the Crazy Holly driver, and now Bowen's gonna go at it. She's gonna see if she can make the move. Obviously, that competitive spirit is there for her as she just continues on making progress, but we'll see how it develops even further, because right now Dan Evans is hungry to get that race league back. And nice to see we got some viewers tuning in from everywhere. Hope you're enjoying the stream so far. We still have some interesting battles to look into. now, currently in second place, having a very fast car, trying to make the pass onto the Takanashi driver, as we now see even more battles here. This time, Shakireza now goes back side by side with Hyota Asano. Around the outside goes Shakireza into Coca-Cola corner. He's doing a very good job there. He hopes onto the curb, almost loses the car, but still stays in the inside line. Enzo Ferrari now trying to get close to his own teammate. This is very intense racing here, we're seeing. More side-by-side action between the last place drivers, Kogi and Jake. This is a battle to get those 4 points, because remember, Lexi Bowen, Joshua Azurit, and then also Sami Ake will not be able to score points in this race. They can take up finishing positions, but they will be excluded from the point situation. So this will just to allow fair. But anyways, it is now pretty much a neck and neck moment between the top 3, which are now separated by under a second. Ali J, this is insane.
Yeah, the mental endurance is huge here.
Well, it's not just about the mental fortitude. It's about trying to find a way to outwit your opponents. I mean, at this point, you need to find that little bit of extra pace on that car, potentially make some more overtaking moves, as we're now coming into the first half of this race. Shakireza, meanwhile, is on the charge here, trying to sniff into that top 5 against Aqua Azuri here, and he does get very close there to the Ozora Subaru driver. Do you think he's gonna make the pass?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's a big chance for that.
And right now he is looking. Oh, and that's an engine failure! Engine failure for Aqua Azuri, as we saw! And absolute tragedy for the Ozora Subaru driver. And this is not the race where she needs to have an engine failure. This is the race where she's the one race she's able to score points, and now she's out of it. Well, she's at least guaranteed a single point from this outcome, but you gotta have to feel for her. You gotta have to feel for her, Ali. She's done everything she needed to do, but then the car still failed. It must hurt for you as well, if it happened to you.
I know, right? I know. Oh no.
Speaking of which, the race lead currently switching hands between Mendes and Evans temporarily, but this time, Puerto Rican Mendes has managed to defend that race lead away from Dan Evans. But Joshua Zuri is gonna see an opportunity to get himself into second place. If you think about it, Joshua Zuri and Puerto Rican Mendes are technically teammates and rivals, as they both are in the same generation of Hololive VTubers, Hololive English Myth. Puerto Rican Mendes representing Takanashi Kiara and Joshua Zuri representing Mori Calliope. Both of them are basically going to have different outcomes on the points. Of course, Aqua Zuri is not going to be happy about this retirement. What do you think is currently on her mind?
About the retirement, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. You know, if I was her, I would want like at least one last a good memory before I finish everything. I leave everything behind. But yeah,
we're not going to go there just yet. Aqua Zuri still has one more race. She still has one more race, which is basically going to be done tomorrow morning. But at least for this race,
sure.
but yeah, but at least for this specific race, this is got to be a big gut punch for her, as she's basically going to score the minimum amount of points in this race. So this will be a massive dent in her hopes to qualify for the World CEO Series and JP CEO Series with this huge setback. But I believe she'll be able to bounce back in the next round, and obviously also in the C race. So we're not going to see the last of her, that's for sure. But meanwhile, we are seeing some more intense battles here. This would mean that Shakib Reza is now back up into P5. Corey Mendez now still maintains the lead. Kamine Riba is currently in a very comfortable position in 4th place. Look at the gap between himself. He's currently running a pretty long race here. And yeah, so right now, Dan Evans is now getting very close there to Corey Mendez. As you can see here, the gap is continuing to be slightly open. It's now going to close, but I think it's just too far back to make any passing opportunities work here in Fuji. I need the fastest car out too. You saw what happened last race in Split A. You think it's going to be the same as Split B? With the difficulty of overtaking at the front?
Overall, yeah, I can see that it's gonna happen. But other than that, for the top 3, do you think Evans can challenge Mendes to the lead?
Right now, it's going to be a massive toss-up. It's going to be a massive toss-up initially, but the answer, based on what we saw the last lap or two, will be a resounding yes, because Evans had actually had a moment where he went side by side with Mendes, but Mendes has been able to maintain his composure, place the car in the right place at the right time to maintain his race lead right now. And right now, the KFP employees in the KFP, I think Mendes is doing a good job in that representation, and he's still currently in the lead. Back into the current situation here in Fuji Speedway. We are now nearing the second half of this race. Dan Evans still trying to find a way past Corey Mendez. Just want to remind you that Corey Rico started 3rd and is now currently in the race lead. The overcut strategy that he has employed in his pit stop has done himself wonders to put himself up in front. And we are seeing multiple battle packs here. Looking into this mid pack, right across you is currently leading Zacharias, Bowen, and Wizard. And watch out though, Enzo Ferrari also getting close there to Hyuta Asano. Alright, so right now we're looking at Dan Evans, who is currently still piling on the pressure. Do you have any current opinions on this matter right now about Dan Evans?
Evans? I think it's he's low-key under pressure right now, which you know, when you are on the top 3 and trying to catch up with the first leader, it's a tight battle for him, I'm pretty sure.
There's going to be an insane fight for this race win between these 3 drivers. In Split A, it was a 4-way fight coming into the second half of this race, which eventually whittled it down to 2. But we will see if Dan Evans can provide continued sustained pressure against Mendes, who continues to be only slightly faster than Evans on that last lap. So right now, Mendes is now slowly but surely becoming the clear favorites to win this race as we now start the second half of this race. Zacharias, meanwhile, getting closer to Rustin Horacio for that P10 spot. And right now we're looking at Jay Goodwin as well, who's trying to make a chase against Evelyn Romy, running in 16th place. And still, you see here the gap between the top 3 separated by only 2 seconds. That just shows you how competitive this field can be. And meanwhile, Lexi Bowen getting very close there to Matthias Zacharias. Still not close enough for any move to be done. Yeah, anyways, we are still having this race be in progress here, and again, this is the race that will coincide with stage 2 of the concert, Riding on Dreams, that will be hosted on Saturday afternoon in Makari Messe. And obviously, if you're on site, then it will be very good. But if you basically are watching from outside of the exhibition hall, or basically you're not in Japan right now, you can scan a QR code for more information about the 7 Fest. That will lead you to more information about the 7 Fest and the streaming tickets that might come with it. But then again, if you're broke like me, you can just watch the first few minutes of the live concert on YouTube that will be provided by Cover. But anyways, looks to me that Mendes has now opened the gap to Evans. Looks to me that Mendes has this race has basically got this race under control. Alright, so looking into the second half of this race, Zacharias, who was commentating in the Split A race and is now on the seat, is now basically in the driver's seat for the Split B race, is currently giving chase to Caraccio, who is currently running in 10th place. Doing a very good job here, Zacharias. Like to double duty in a sense. And meanwhile, as we're seeing here, Dan Evans losing grip onto the race leader, Ali. Do you think he might be able to bounce back in this one, or do you think he's going to get overtaken by Azuri?
I can see Azuri actually is trying to catching up on him on Evans. By the way, who do you think is playing safe right now?
Right now, I feel like Enrique Mendes is pushing to stay ahead of Evans. He's building the gap. But Evans right now is trying to chase. He's putting a lot of performance here, but right now he just doesn't have the does not have the car needed to challenge Enrique Mendes for this win. Riba, meanwhile, I feel like Riba is going to be the one that has to play safe, because he's currently in a solid position to score some healthy amount of points to qualify for the World and Japan Series coming up. Obviously, you need to be in the top 8 of each of the split for you to qualify for the top 10 of the standings. Of course, we still need to see if Riba can still muster up a solid challenge. Speaking of which, looks to me that both Azuri and Evans are matching in terms of lap time, but both of them are already slower than Enrique Mendes, who's absolutely on a spirited charge right at the front. They're all sticking with a 1:30.920 as we are now coming into 13 laps to go here in Fuji Speed. And based on your optics there, Ali J, what are your opinions on this race so far? Who do you think has been the biggest overperformers and underperformers so far?
No, let's talk about the underperformance now. Maybe just a little not so under. They're still trying their best to catch up with the leaders, especially Kuromi. I can see how Kuromi trying to catch the pace to maintain the pace and catch up with the rest, while with the top 5, I guess, I can't imagine like the pressure between them to close the gap, you know.
Well, we'll see here, because Enrique Mendes is currently a cut above the rest so far. Currently in this situation here, you can see here Evans now loses even more time there, possibly a lock up there somewhere from the 015 driver, as you mentioned here, pressure already building up to some of these drivers as Corey Mendes now pulls away from the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, as you mentioned here, Kuromi continues to struggle here in Fuji Speedway. If she doesn't pick up the pace right now, then she needs to perform in Le Mans to basically keep her hopes of qualifying for the World Seal alive. And right now, as the defending international champion, this is also going to be a massive damper in terms of her hopes to qualify for the international for basically qualify for the World Seal, and this will also mean that she will definitely lose a lot of ground in terms of qualifying for the World Seal. So this is going to be a heavy race under scrutiny for her if she doesn't get into even more points.
Yeah, so I'm just questioning like how focused is she right now under this intensity.
Right now, I feel like there should be a decent amount of focus in her right now. The car is not pretty much cooperating with her. And speaking of cooperation here, Shakireza is now getting very close to his fellow Genming Kaminari Riba, who is currently running in 4th place. That 4th place will give you a pretty solid cushion if you can get up there. But we will see if Shakireza can make the pass done. Now looking at Corey Mendes, who's driving this car as cool as you like. I feel like at this point, given that his opponents are now falling by the wayside, even when he's just not really pushing, I feel like he is holding back, but he is holding back at the right place at the right time, and I think you have to agree with me on this one.
Yeah, of course.
And currently, what is the outlook for the rest of the field so far?
Most of the drivers seems like they're trying to climb from the back and catch the leaders. So, who is feeling the pressure? Is it the one who's chasing or the one who's being chased?
Well, looking into the current situation here, Evans, who is currently the chaser and the chased, I would say that based on what I'm seeing right now, I feel like he is suffering. He is looking into pressure from both ends. But now that the gap has opened up, the pressure is slightly relieved. He is already now faster than Corey Mendes, so he might try to pile on the pressure on Corey Mendes instead. Meanwhile, this pack of drivers might want to find some opportunity against each other.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on even if, just in case there's a comeback of the race.
And right now we are not going to rule this one out because Evans is actually faster than Mohamed Shakib Reza on that previous lap. So we will see how Evans can try to mount a comeback drive. But for now, it is going to be a case of just monitoring the situation essentially. And looking into the rest of the field here, it's going to be Shakib Reza trying to find a way past Kaminari Riba, who's currently leading this pack of cars in the midfield. Enzo Ferrari and Yuta Asano have also joined in on the fight. Hopefully, meanwhile, is having a pretty lonely race of sorts. That is, if you ignore Alex Grant, just coming in at the back right now. Obviously, he is a veteran driver. Well, basically, do you think experience adds to the racing experience so far?
Of course, especially in about going through the pack and maintain the momentum.
I can agree on that aspect. as we see here, Ridin having a bit of a know-how here to keep piling on the pressure on Hofumi right now, who is also a veteran as well. Obviously raced in ARO competition since mid-2022 and has a pedigree of winning titles for the OG Hololive member Tokino Sora. And right now he is still trying to stay ahead, but I think he's doing a pretty good job though. Meanwhile, Evans continues to try to find a way ahead of Mendes, but he doesn't have a car that can challenge him. And right now he's under pressure from Azuri. Right now, Azuri has a fast car right now, and he's looking to see if he can make the pass on to Evans. Do you think that he can make the pass maybe in the next 5, 6, 7 laps?
We'll see. We'll see. I'm still looking forward for any miracles. Yeah, yeah, who's maintaining the fastest pace despite having no one behind.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about trying to soak in that sustained pressure. And right now we are just going to see here. We're going to see Azuri just continue to keep on the pressure against Evans. But Evans is I think slightly faster than Azuri on our last lap. And then it's still the fastest out of everyone. Good Jacob meanwhile on that battle for last place against Kurogi and Sami Ake. How important do you think this is for our driver to finish last? At least on the mental perspective.
Speaking about mental perspective, I think the one who's trying to climb up have a lot of pressure right now, especially they're not trying to, other than themselves, they don't want to disappoint their fans.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all up. This is an equally important affair, just to not be on the short end of the stick when it comes to race results and all that. Meanwhile, the race I do have noted have pretty much calmed down from what we saw previously. So it is at least a good thing to see on a driving perspective, because everyone can protect their equipment and all that. But in terms of like racing action, sometimes it leaves a bit much desired. But of course, beggars can't be choosers, and site here, as we are just going to finish off the updating here of the current split B standings. Right now we are paying attention to likes Shakib Reza trying to find a way past Kaminari Riba, who is doing a stellar job defending his 4th place. So what do you think?
Is it for Shakib Reza and Riba?
Yes.
I see a lot of pressure for Shakib Reza, especially actually since the start. But yeah, he's doing well throughout this race so far, maintaining everything, all the pace and momentum. But who's at risk of being overtaken right now?
Well, he is currently coming in Riba, just continuing to soak out the pressure. Meanwhile, Joshua Zurich about to go down the inside against Dan Evans. This is for 2nd place. They're still side by side, exiting turn 1 into turn 3. Will we see a Takamori 1-2? Azure around the outside, trying to see if he can find the edge. But right now we have the Euphoria trying to resist death right in the face, with Evans with a great defensive move to stay in 2nd place.
That was so close for Azurio just now. Wow, Azurio is trying.
Trying his
I mean,
best.
there's still chance for him.
Yeah, exactly. But there's still pretty much a lot of this race to go before we wrap things up here for the day. And right now we are just gonna have to keep on checking on the situation here. And the situation right now is actually still looking pretty good here for Joshua Zerr. He still has a fast car. He just needs to executing very well. He has had that glimpse of that good performance. It's just he needs to make it count when it mattered. And right now, he is trying. I at least have to say this. He at least is trying. So
Yeah, that's the most important part.
exactly. And I'm just going to see here of Azura trying to make a pass onto Dan Evans. He is getting very close once again. Meanwhile, we got Grant and Hofubi going side by side. Both of them with experience, but it's just who's going to be the one that has it. Oh, and it's Corey Mendes! Corey Mendes is out for the lead! Engine failure from the race leader!
Oh no.
Corey Mendes, with 5 laps to go, has retired from the race lead. And what a massive shock for the Split B driver, for the KFV, who thought that they could bring home the checkers. Oh my goodness. And Corey Mendes can't believe it. We can't believe it in the booth. None of us are currently believing this right now. It's now.
Oh my god, I can't believe it either.
Everyone is essentially shell-shocked at the current development here, as we're now seeing Corey Mendes drop down into the standings. Unbelievable. The shock that we didn't expect in this race has happened, and you gotta have to feel for Corey Rico there. Again, does everything right, but now have to fall down by the wayside. Unbelievable luck for the KFB. Retires from the race lead. That has to be very much frustrating. And this will mean that Kaminari Riba will have a equally solid chance to finish second, at least amongst those who will be scoring in the points. And this will absolutely help him in the hunt for qualification for the CEO. And for Hololive Gen 5, it's also going to be a good day because, as it stands right now, Shakif Reza and Kaminari Riba are going to bring home a solid podium finish result between the two. So it's only going to be a good thing for them, right?
Especially, it's still frustrated. It must be frustrated for Mendes, but we can see the rest are taking advantage from this.
Yeah, exactly. And right now, we're looking also for Yuta Asano, trying to see if he can make the pass onto Shakif Reza here to get himself way close, get into the top 3 in this championship fight. Meanwhile, we still have the likes of Enzo Ferrari, Ofumi still in this hunt as well. We have to ask like what could have been for Corey Mendes if the engine did not fail. Then it could have been his race for the taking, but of course that doesn't happen because he's now out of race with an engine failure. Anyways, we're coming into the final stages of the Split B race, and right now we are going to see how the final stage of this race will come down, because right now it could be Azurid versus Evans. Evans will be guaranteed 200 points still from this position right now, but will he be able to finish first on track with Azurid? Currently still trying to apply huge amounts of pressure. Again, both of these cars are basically neck and neck in terms of pace, but Azurid needs to find that extra edge. Do you think Azurid has an extra edge to win at this one?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Well, Mendes is still in the pit. It's a tight battle between Evans and Azurio there.
An apparent obvious here. Shaki Freza is still trying to say if he can defend against Asano while also trying to apply the pressure onto Riba for that third place spot. Meanwhile, looking into the rest of the field, it's only going to be a good thing for Austin Wizard too, by the way, is going to be set to be 10th in the standings, even without his talent supporting him without his talent being available for the concert. So that, at the very least, for Wizard, that's got to be another good thing, right?
Yep.
All right. So we are just going to double check here. It's going to be Nicolette also going to provisionally finish provisionally going to place himself 11th in the split B standings, as we are continuing to make our way towards the conclusion of this race here. We are now at lap 32, or rather the final lap here, as Dan Evans now has started the final lap here in the Riding on Dreams 600 and Fuji Split B race. Azurid still trying to see if he can apply the pressure, but I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. We are running out of time. Currently the Hololive Indonesia driver is going to see if he can bring home for the Indonesian talent that is already 15, and we'll see if he can soak up the pressure from Azurid. Do you think Azurid can make one last chance to make an overtake?
Yeah, I still have hope for this few laps.
But this is the final lap, so Azurid really needs to make this pass count.
Yeah, oh my god.
And it will
I'm
come
rooting
down.
for Azurio now.
And right now, Azurid's gonna see if he can come down to the wire into the final few corners here in Fuji Speedway. Dan Evans just needs to survive the onslaught from Joshua Azurid. Joshua Azurid needs to have a very good exit if he can beat Dan Evans down the line. But I don't think it's gonna be enough. Dan Evans about to cross the line. Here she is. Here he comes right into the finish line as Dan Evans takes the checker flag in split B of the Riding on Dream 600 at Fuji Speedway. Joshua Azurid will come home in second place. A solid result for him heading into his split D race. Kamna Riba will finish third on the podium, but he will be listed as second in the championship. Shaki Reza will be listed as third as more drivers coming to finish. So with that being said, what are your thoughts of this race, of this split B race?
Yeah, there's not much differences, but of course everything is too pressured for me, and especially for Mendes, that's the dark horse that I don't expect to happen.
The dark horse to basically retire from this race. Unbelievable. But anyways, we're seeing the last drivers cross the line. No really a lot of changes in the running order, as we're now going to actually see the race results here, as we're about to check on it now. Dan Evans takes the checkered flag, just staying where he needs to be with a car that could finish the race. Dan Evans takes the checkered flag over Joshua Zuri for Maury Calliope, who will take this. He will use this experience to his advantage as he will be racing tomorrow once again. This time for points. Kaminari Riba finishes third for Shishiro Botan, but he will be in second place in the championship standings, with Azuri not counting towards the results here. Shakir Reza third for Moses Nene, with Yuta Asano fourth, at least in the point standings. They actually finished fourth and fifth on track. Enzo Ferrari sixth for Rara Pantera for a very solid debut for Hololive English Justice. Yuta Asano finishing fifth for Gigi Marin, Enzo Ferrari sixth for Rara Pantera. Hofumi 7 for Tokinosora, with Alex Grant 8th for Cecilia Immigrant. That will put basically 3 of the Justice drivers inside the top 10. Justice, just like that. Synchrotio 9 for Laplace Darkness, and 10th place Matthias Zacharias running out the top 10 for Crazy Ollie. Lexi Bowen in her invitational race will be in 11th place as great preparation for tomorrow as well. Also, Wizard finishes 12th despite the odds of Inogami Korone not participating in the 7th Fest. Then we still have Isakaji Mikole for Sakura Miko, also having a solid race immediately following Miko's birthday concert last night. Sami Ake, who is actually also does not count towards the points here, will finish 14th for Shirakawa Fubuki. Evelyn Kuromi 15th in this race for ERB. Jake Goodwin, Corrica Mendez, and Ako Azuri will score the minimum points, as they will be listed as 13th, 14th, and 15th in the standings. Heartbreaking for Corrica Mendez and Ako Azuri, who retired due to engine failures and therefore did not have a chance to properly finish this race. So, Ali J, as we're about to finish this race, I want to hear your thoughts of the race so far. If what was the moment that defined the race for you?
Moment that defined the race for me.
Yes.
So specifically for this race, yeah, split B. And overall, I think, this moment completely defined the outcome when the engine failure happened, or maybe the one who's taking advantage when the other drivers in the pit stop, engine failure, yada yada.
Yeah.
And also about the one who are under pressure trying to defending, and the one are overtaking.
Yeah. So yeah, so basically the moment that defined the race would be Corrica Mendez in control after the pit stops, only for it to be completely undone by the engine failure that absolutely costed him
It's
the chance.
so dramatic.
It's not just dramatic; it's heartbreaking. It's just gut wrenching
Yeah,
for all of the
actually,
KFP watching. Just to see that chance of a race win get ripped away just like that. But again, you gotta have to be in it to win it, and that's where we will commend. That's where we will be commending Dan Evans for his run to maintain himself at the top, or even because this is why we still have to race even when we're in second. But anyways, let's take a look into the split B standings after this race here in Fuji Speedway. Obviously, ignoring the guest drivers who are obviously ineligible for points. Dan Evans takes the checkered flag here in the split B race of the riding on Dream 600 at Fuji Speedway, and of course he brings home the 200 points here in this track. Kamner Riba finishes second, currently occupies second place alongside Shaki Reza in third, with what is actually a good day for basically Gen 5, Nepo Labo, with 2 of their drivers making the podium finishes. Yuta Sano and Ferrari have very solid debuts in Fuji Speedway in Hola Proto, which would mean that we will see some great performances from Gigi and Raura in the concerts tomorrow morning. Hofumi and Alex Grant having pretty solid races as well to put themselves in the CEO position so far. as well as Rustin Caraccio, who has been mediocre, but at least kept himself in it for Studio Series qualification. Matthias Zacharias and Ozan Wizard are your first drivers currently out of it. They need a good result in either Le Mans or Mandalika or both to put themselves in the Studio Series later this year. Isagaji Mikhailov, Evelyn Kuromi, and Jake Uwin have all to work for, especially for Kuromi as the defending international champion, but she still has 8 rounds to go to change this. Meanwhile, for Koya Recommenders and Aqua Azuri, they need to perform at both Le Mans and Mandalika if they are going to salvage their seasons. And with that out of the way, we will like to end the stream with one more reminder. The Riding on Dreams Stage 2 concert, the stage that serves as the basis for Split B, is about to be hosted on tomorrow, 7th of March, and for the start of the concert would actually take place in 1 p.m. Japan time. So hopefully everyone should be able to tune in to the live concert as well. And I hope you're able to enjoy the concert as much as you enjoyed this race. My name is Mama Shan Rizza in the commentary booth, and alongside me is Ali J in the booth. Thank you all for tuning in for the first 2 races of the Riding on Dream 600 at Fuji. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow morning once again for split C and D. We hope to see you all for some more racing action that mirrors the idle action in the Hall of S. So that out of the way, take care everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow for some more Hololive racing. Take care everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow.